Aquarius and Gemini, welcome to an Aquarius experience. This will be a connection spread for the highest good of the relationship between Aquarius and Gemini. This could be friends, family, work, love. This could even be twin flames. Aquarius, Son of Pentacles, much like the Knight of Pentacles. I like this energy. It is slow moving, but instability. However, it is slow moving. It is pretty stable. So you could be getting back on your feet financially, but it is promising. In your challenge, however, we have the Seven of Swords. There may have been a fight, some words exchange, some negative energies going back and forth. There's some regret and maybe even holding on to some feelings that you have yet to communicate. For Gemini, the Hierophant. Gemini is currently feeling that they have the wisdom and the knowledge and the know-how to go about a direction. I would say commitment. They have everything they need to move forward in a relationship. And that's just a feeling. Okay, they feel they have everything they need to move forward with some sort of commitment. For their challenge, we have the Emperor. So again, the Gemini feels as though they have all the know-how to move forward in the connection or any other aspect of their life. It doesn't have to be their relationship with the Aquarius, but it could be some kind of commitment, maybe even a commitment to themselves. However, because the Emperor shows up in the challenge position, it means that they have yet to apply this said knowledge. They feel like they know what to do, but are they doing it? They have yet to harness this Emperor energy, which is an energy of fairness and of leadership. So if they have what it takes, Gemini, if you have what it takes, what are you doing how are you leading here? The united force is Temperance. So there could have been a fight. It looks like that from the Aquarius' side, that there was some kind of fight. Maybe something was taken or withheld. And Aquarius is having a hard time dealing with the aftermath of whatever has taken place. Gemini feels that they know what needs to happen. However, they are not doing it. Instead, they are taking time. Maybe rebalancing themselves and this connection. Overall, we had two cards pop out, which are the Devil and the Page of Wands. Overall, there could be some codependency here, shared mutually, equally by both parties. And what I want to say is that the relationship is still learning. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is a new relationship. It could be a longer relationship, but you're still learning. You're still on that learning curve where you haven't quite mastered what it is that you need, which is the opposite of what this Gemini is feeling within themselves. They're feeling like they know exactly what it is that they need to do here in the relationship, with the relationship, or even with themselves. However, you could be wrong. All this said knowledge that you have, where is it coming from? Is it coming from past experiences? Is it coming from other people? Is it, where things may or may not have worked out and panned out for you before? So are you taking a different approach? How are you leading here? Because it looks like there's a lack of leadership. And Aquarius is feeling like there is just like this slow moving energy to stability. And they feel like they either are not speaking about it or can't speak about it. I don't know why walking on eggshells came to me. There may be some substance abuse. Which could lead to Gemini feeling like they have this overly sense of know-how, of knowing. And they may know, but they're not leading with the knowing. there's a time out between these two, but it's healthy. This devil energy is not, and it's something that is shared with both parties. So both parties could be dependent on substances, or it could be that both parties are codependent on each other, or they have codependent relationships outside of this connection. Aquarius, advice for the Aquarius. Advice for the Aquarius. Son of Cups. Your advice, Aquarius, is to remain compassionate. During this time of pause, or during this time of recalibration. If it's not a lack of communication, then there is some time needed to recalibrate stability. After, well, I don't want to say that it was a huge fight. It might have just been something, an argument or a disagreement. I want to say that it is a continuous pattern or continuous disagreement on moving forward, moving in a direction. There's a lack of leadership here. And Aquarius feels silenced. Because the Gemini is trying to take the lead, but they're not leading. So Aquarius is withholding information or ideas or thoughts about the progression of the relationship. They're withholding suggestions. Or maybe they are holding on to something negative. Maybe after this disagreement happened, maybe the Gemini said something and Aquarius is kind of just holding on to that, replaying it over and over. So your advice is to try not to fixate on negative. Sometimes words are exchanged and you give it meaning. You, Aquarius, give it meaning. And remain in an open cup of love. Remain compassionate to the Gemini. For the Gemini, any advice for the Gemini? We have the 10 of Wands, Oh, we also have the Father of Pentacles. Okay, Gemini. Whatever's going on was quite heavy, quite burdensome. It took energy you felt like you did not have. However, the hardest part is over, and now it's time to do some healing, some self-reflecting. And so that way, eventually you can get to this King of Pentacles, which is a stable energy. A stable situation, maybe revolved around work, around finances. There's some healing that needs to happen. And once you allow this healing to happen, you will be able to make the right decisions. You will become this emperor. You will be able to lead to stability, which is exactly what the Aquarius is needing. The Aquarius is the Knight of Pentacles. So they are slowly getting to some really strong stability. It's really slow for the Aquarius, and why it's slow could be because the Gemini has yet to present stability. Why? Why is there a lack of stability? Magician. Okay. I'm getting one-man show. So there may be a lack of stability. Aquarius, you're doing everything within your power to harness stability, to achieve stability, to offer stability even. But that just might feed into this Gemini's, I want to say, big head. Gemini. Gemini is thinking of, or maybe walking away from this relationship because they know better. And that is said with sarcasm. They feel like they are the magician, like they can have anything they want. They can do whatever they like, and they will have it all. However, you are lacking the Emperor. So just because you feel like you can have anything you want, which is true, anyone can have anything that they want. However, you have to be in the right energy. You have to be in the right mindset. And it seems like you are not fair. You are not just. You are not leading. So you are going to manifest something that reflects that, Gemini. So what is needed, rather than you manifesting right now and leaving and manifesting, is you need to do some healing, some inner work. Are you going to do that inner work? That's up to you. I can go ahead and pull for the immediate future. What is there to expect for the relationship between Aquarius and Gemini in the immediate future? Daughter of Pentacles. There's a lot of Pentacles here. The Daughter of Pentacles is somebody coming forward with the idea of an offer. So very slow moving. The idea of an offer. They don't know. This is uncharted territory. They don't know how to offer stability. It is not something that they've ever had. First of all, ever had in their life. From childhood to adolescence to even adulthood and however old they are. Yes, you will continue to manifest. But how do I say this? You can only manifest when you can visualize. So if you don't know what it looks like to be stable, what does a stable relationship look like? What does a stable home look like? If you don't have an example of that, or if you don't visually try to imagine what that looks like, you will never manifest that. So you can go ahead and manifest all you want, but if you don't take some time to reflect on what it is that you truly want and heal some of the things that need to be healed, then you will never be able to visualize a life any differently than what walking away does. And you walk away, relationship has some burdens. I'm gonna walk away. That's what I know how to do. I'm gonna do that. That's what I usually do. What you don't know is fairness. What you don't know is leadership. Again, let's continue on. In the immediate future, there is an idea of stability. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, which goes from the idea of stability to achieving stability. So you will have this time out, Gemini. You will have this time out. You will do some self-reflecting. You will harness this King of Pentacles. You may be walking away from some substance use, some substance abuse. That might be what is quite burdensome. Aquarius, you may be having difficulty speaking about the substance use or the addiction or whatever it is. Remain a full cup of love. Remain compassionate. There's temperance here, so recalibrate. Use your time effectively. Okay, I think that's all that I have for you. If you made it this far, I hope that some of it could help. Until next time.